So pretty cool. So now there's just a few other things we want to do to add to this presentation. One, I think I'd like to put a whole entire border around the chart itself. So I want to start this below the drop down. I'm going to add this main ID into the style area. So I'll do that down here at the end. And then I want to include that, as I said, below the drop down. So here's the drop down. I want to say div ID equal main. And I want to close that at the end of the bars. And then this should provide some nice styling, puts a couple lines as a border around it, so it's starting to look like a little bit more of a professional chart. And then the last sort of fancy thing that we can do is we can add this transition here. It's a CSS3 transition to the bars, so that when we change them, right now, they change and they look kind of jumpy. They just jump to the next amount. Maybe we want that to be a little bit smoother. So we can get this transition and we can add that to the CSS for bars. Remember bars, we did that very early on, one of the first styles we created. And if we just save that and refresh, we should now see when we change a much smoother effect between the three measures. Very nice. Now I mentioned here that sometimes CSS3 effects take a while to be populated and to work in all browsers to get the full browser support. And so sometimes you have to write all three of these so that all the browsers, no matter what browser, what version of browser your user is using, they will be able to have the support. But the actual CSS for it is transition. And you give it the width with 1 second ease in. And so we're doing the transition on the width. We're telling it exactly where we want it to go.